Before June 24th ends, Archangel Michael warns, the one you trust most will betray you. He's protected you so long, but if you ignore this, he can't step in again. The day is marked. The clock is ticking. And before June 24th breathes its final breath, a divine line in the sand will be crossed. This isn't an ordinary moment in time. This is a spiritual threshold, sealed with heavenly urgency. June 24th has not been chosen at random. It is a day written in the archives of eternity, long before you ever encountered betrayal, long before you knew pain, long before trust turned fragile. It is a prophetic deadline, one soaked in divine purpose, a turning point for the chosen and the marked. Archangel Michael, heaven's appointed guardian, has stood beside you silently for so long. Through heartache, through trials, through battles you never voiced, he has defended your name in realms unseen. His sword has shielded you from unseen attacks. His wings have wrapped around your spirit when no one saw your tears. He has whispered when the world was loud, fought when you were too tired to pray, and pushed back darkness when you stood unaware of the danger brushing against your soul. But now, he comes not just to guard, but to warn. Because betrayal energy is peaking. It is rising like smoke through sacred corridors, passing through relationships, conversations, glances, and silences. A divine flare has gone up, and those who are spiritually sensitive feel it. The air feels thin. Trust feels shaky. There's an unspoken tension rising between you and someone close, and it isn't just coincidence. It's spiritual. It's prophetic. It's targeted. And Michael has been dispatched not just to protect, but to speak. This message is not for the masses. It is not a general word thrown out into the wind, hoping someone listens. No, this is a holy broadcast aimed directly at the ones whom heaven has tapped. If your spirit stirred when you saw the title of something and you tightened, when you heard the word betrayal, then you are the one this message was meant for. You have been marked by heaven for a unique assignment. But with that assignment comes testing, comes discernment, comes a call for spiritual stillness. Stillness is not passivity. It is power. In this moment, the ones who will pass this test are not the ones who speak first, move fast, or retaliate. It will be the ones who discern in silence, the ones who wait with wisdom, the ones who listen, not just to people, but to the spirit. That inner restlessness you felt isn't paranoia, it's prophecy. That hesitation when you're around them lately, it's not fear, it's for warning. You are being awakened, and heaven is saying, be still, be silent, and be sharp. Something is shifting behind the smile. Watch closely. You are not alone in this. You are not abandoned. But you are being called into a sharper dimension of discernment, and Archangel Michael is making it clear. If you ignore this prompting again, I will not step in the same way. There is mercy, but there is also mission. And if you delay your discernment, you delay your destiny. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. By the authority of heaven, and by the command of the Most High, I, Archangel Michael, speak now, not with gentleness, but with divine urgency. This moment is holy. This moment is pivotal. This moment is not just a message, it is a mandate. A soul call wrapped in flame. A warning surrounded by angelic presence. The veil is thin, and your spirit is being summoned into awareness. The clock has begun its final cycle toward June 24th, and heaven will not speak this word twice. This is the hour of your awakening. And if you miss it, if you brush it off, if you hush the whisper, if you silence your own discernment, Then understand this. The covering that's been with you so long may shift. The defense that has shielded your life may lift. This is not to provoke fear. This is to provoke clarity. You have been protected time and time again. From dangers you never saw. From betrayals that never reached your doorstep. From jealous eyes that were blinded before they could strike. And I, Michael, have been there, drawing the line, issuing divine decrees, scattering demonic surveillance, silencing wicked plans. But I cannot protect what you willingly entertain. I cannot guard what you continually ignore. And this time, the one you trust most is the one whose hands are trembling with betrayal. There's been a shifting, a silent betrayal, a change so subtle it's nearly imperceptible to the natural eye. But your spirit has seen it. You felt the tension. You've caught the strange silence, the long stares, the questions that don't quite feel like love. And I'm telling you now, do not dismiss that inner alarm. That inner restlessness is not your imagination. It is the Spirit crying out to your soul, wake up, chosen one. Wake up before it's too late. There's a divine stirring happening beneath your circumstances. Look beyond the surface. Listen beyond the words. The one you've trusted has grown cold, not just emotionally, but spiritually. Their energy has shifted. Their loyalty is no longer anchored in light. They have allowed darkness to whisper, and they have entertained it far too long. And now, they are a vessel, unaware or not, of the adversary's agenda. This is not to break your heart. It is to save your future. I invoke now the authority of the heavens over your life. I summon the divine fire of clarity to fall upon you as you hear this. Let every veil that has kept you blind be torn now. Let every fog of confusion be cleared in this moment. Let the light of the Holy One shine so fiercely in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, that deception cannot survive in its presence. And hear me with sacred attention. This won't repeat. This will echo again. This moment is your one divine checkpoint. This is the voice before the betrayal. This is the warning before the fall. This is your divine intersection. You are not just anyone. You are not just a listener. You are not just a viewer of this message. You are chosen. You have been handpicked by heaven. You were selected in the Spirit long before betrayal ever entered the room. So why you? Why this timing? Because your next level requires discernment that you haven't walked in yet. Because your calling is growing louder. Because your mantle is changing. Because heaven wants to take you higher, and high realms come with high tests. And this is not just betrayal, it's exposure. It's divine strategy. It's the final exam before elevation. Now is not the time to speak out of impulse. Now is not the time to explain your suspicions. Now is not the time to confront. Now is the time to watch. Now is the time to pray. Now is the time to document dreams. Now is the time to wait on the Lord. Your silence is not weakness, it is weaponized. Your discernment is your greatest defense. Your inner stillness is where heaven will move. You have a few days left, only a handful of hours before the 24th completes its course. And what you do between now and then will determine what heaven can release on your behalf. This is an emotional manipulation. This is spiritual accountability. I am not here to flatter your ears. I am here to warn your soul. Let your spirit rise up. Let your discernment wake. Let your trust shift back into the arms of the Almighty. Because the one you've leaned on may not survive this season with you. They were good for your past, but not for your future. Their presence was protection, But now it's becoming poison. You have outgrown what they offer. You are outpacing what they understand. And this betrayal, though painful, is the key to your liberation. So listen. Listen deeply. Listen with your spirit, not your emotions. This is the moment where destiny pivot. This is the hour where trust must be tried. Heaven is watching. Angels are on guard. And I, Michael, will not force myself between you and your choice again. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There has been a strange chill in the air lately, hasn't there? A shift you can't explain, a quietness that doesn't feel peaceful, a calm that's more unsettling than it is soothing. This is not just emotional confusion. This is not just your heart overthinking. No, this is mystery unfolding. This is spiritual disruption disguised as normalcy. And though everything seems fine on the surface, though smiles are still exchanged and conversations still happen, your spirit knows something deeper is unraveling. You felt it. A subtle distance. The change in how they look at you. The way they ask questions. Just a little too specific, a little too rehearsed, a little too curious about where you're going and what you're planning. It's as if their interest is no longer rooted in love, but in intel. You find yourself questioning, why are they watching me like that? Why are they so invested in the details of my next move? Why does it feel like I'm being studied, not supported? The unsettling truth is this: betrayal rarely announces itself. It creeps. It studies. It smiles while shifting. It rehearses loyalty while plotting departure. And in this season, the one closest to you, the one you would never suspect, is carrying the energy of silent sabotage. They've changed, even if you can't yet prove it. They've begun to pull away spiritually, even if they still remain physically. Their soul has aligned with fear, envy, or unresolved wounds, and now you are the target, not the treasure. I, Archangel Michael, reveal this now not to stir suspicion, but to sharpen your sight. You must stop explaining away your discernment. You must stop dismissing the alarm bells going off in your belly. This is not paranoia. It is preparation. It is spiritual sensitivity rising in response to spiritual danger. And you, chosen one, are being positioned to see what had been hidden behind familiar eyes. They are still smiling. They are still showing up. They are still using the same tone of voice. But they are not the same. Their alignment has shifted. Their assignment has changed. And though you haven't caught them in the act, your spirit already has. Something in you doesn't trust like it used to. Something in you holds back just a little more. Something in you is unsettled when they speak. That something is the spirit. That something is heaven's early warning system. That something is your sign. You are not imagining the tension. You are not wrong for feeling unsafe. Your inner knowing is being activated by a higher force. This is the mystery of the spirit realm. God always lets you feel it before He lets you see it. And right now, the discomfort you've been trying to shake off, that unease you've tried to explain away, is divine disruption. It is the atmosphere shifting in response to unspoken betrayal. They may not even know they've turned. They may not have consciously decided to betray you. But somewhere deep inside, their spirit has agreed with a lie. Somewhere within, they've partnered with jealousy, with resentment, with fear of your rising. And that agreement has made them dangerous. Not violent, not loud, just dangerous. Because what they're hiding now is not their plan, it's their change. And God is allowing you to feel the shift so you don't fall into the trap. But here is the deeper mystery. They have not betrayed who you are now. They are betraying a version of you they can no longer understand. They see your growth and distance. They see your evolution as arrogance. They see your calling as competition. And instead of celebrating you, they've begun silently separating from you. They nod in front of you, but they speak behind you. They agree to your face, but question your motives in the dark. This is not love anymore. This is not safety anymore. This is a setup, dressed as support. But I declare to you, heaven will not let you walk blind. Not this time. Not at this level. Not with what's at stake. And that's why the disruption has begun. That's why their voice feels strange now. That's why your spirit tightens when they text. That's why your peace feels disrupted even when you're with them. Heaven is giving you the advantage before the enemy strikes. Heaven is whispering, watch. Wait. You're not wrong. There's a reason you're suddenly more tired after seeing them. There's a reason your dreams have shifted. There's a reason your energy feels drained around them. You're not being dramatic. You're being divinely alerted. Your discernment is the Spirit's way of preparing you for what's already happening behind the curtain. And you must lean into it now. You must listen more than you speak. You must watch more than you react. Because what's hidden will soon come to light. And when it does, you won't be shocked, you'll be ready. You have been divinely positioned in this season to recognize what's false, even if it's wrapped in years of history. Your eyes are being sharpened to see past loyalty and into alignment. In this betrayal, this quiet, creeping change in someone you've trusted, is not just about pain. It's about protection. It's about promotion. It's about your purpose being separated from polluted hands. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for regular prophetic guidance, deep spiritual insight, and powerful words that keep you aligned with heaven's rhythm. Type I receive in the comments if this confirms your spirit. Blessing code 1414 is now being activated over your life. What if I told you that this betrayal, the one forming right under your nose, is not a punishment, but a passage? What if I told you that heaven is not just allowing this pain, but orchestrating it to expose what was hidden too long? You see, betrayal is never random. It is a spiritual equation. And in your case, it is heaven's precise formula to separate the vessel from the venom. Do not misunderstand this moment. Do not mislabel it as cruelty or chaos. No, beloved, this is divine calibration. This is a spiritual purge in motion. For when God begins to elevate a soul, when heaven starts unlocking the next scroll of your destiny, He does not just bless you with new doors, He exposes old chains. Chains that looked like friends. Chains that sounded like family. Chains that felt like comfort. But they are chains nonetheless. This is why you must frame this conflict through the lens of the Spirit, not the lens of the flesh. If you process this with natural eyes, you'll be tempted to retaliate. You'll be pulled toward bitterness. You'll ask the wrong questions. Why me? What did I do wrong? How could they? But heaven is inviting you into a higher perspective. The question is not why did they betray me? The question is, what is this betrayal birthing in me? Hear me. Heaven is watching your reaction. Not your perfection. Not your performance. Your response. Because this betrayal is not just a test of relationships. It is a test of identity. It is a refining fire, allowed by the angels, to reveal whether you are still governed by the flesh or led by the Spirit. You are being observed not just by man, but by heaven itself. And the way you carry this pain will shape the level of power you walk in after this storm. It would have been easier for me to block this. I could have rerouted the conversation. I could have confused their plans. I could have exposed the text messages, the phone calls, the intentions. But I did. Why? Because heaven does not always rescue the chosen. Sometimes we reveal. We uncover. We shake the foundation so you no longer build your future on unstable ground. I, Michael, speak this now with the weight of divine assignment. You are being prepared, not punished. This betrayal is not the end of you. It is the exodus from everything that no longer fits the next level of you. And though the pain is sharp, and though the silence stings, know this: the fire is not to burn you. It is to burn off the parts of you still dependent on the wrong voices. This is your Ascension season, and Ascension requires exposure. The one you trusted is being revealed, not because you are weak, but because you are about to walk in strength they can no longer handle. Your spirit is reacting to your evolution, and heaven has allowed this tension not to wound you, but to wake you. This conflict is not about them. It's about your crown. It's about your calling. It's about your capacity. And you cannot take a corrupted connection into a consecrated season. There is spiritual surveillance over this entire moment. Angels are positioned. Ancestral forces are observing. Every conversation is being recorded in the spirit realm. Every hidden motive is being exposed before the throne. And as you walk silently, as you stay in stillness, as you resist the urge to explode, heaven is gathering data. Heaven is writing the report. And soon, justice will be released, not by your hand, but by divine decree. But you must endure the silence. You must pass the test. You must let the fire do its work. Stop asking why they're doing this, and start asking what it's revealing in you. Stop focusing on what you've lost, and start recognizing what's being released. This pain is stretching your discernment. This betrayal is sharpening your spirit. This wound is breaking the shell that's been keeping your next level hostage. They were never your foundation. They were a bridge. They were never your anchor. They were a lesson. And now, the time has come for separation. Not because you hate them. Not because you're better than them. But because your future can no longer be built on hidden fractures. The exposure had to come. The betrayal had to happen. The tears had to fall. Because heaven knew what you didn't, that their presence would have delayed your promise. And so, you're being refined, rebuilt, resurrected. And though it hurts now, one day soon, you will look back at this season and say, "It was good for me that I was afflicted." You are not falling apart. You are being carved into someone unshakable. Let the silence do its work. Let the Spirit guide your sight. Let heaven continue the exposure. You are not losing, you are being liberated. You are not breaking, you are being birthed. Type "I am rising" in the comments if this message awakens your spirit. Blessing code 1777 is now being released into your life. The time of delay has ended. The space for ignoring the signs is closing. And now, I speak with unwavering urgency. Within 72 hours, movements will begin. Watch them. Watch the energy. Watch the changes. Because something is coming that will not be whispered but revealed, and you must be prepared when it breaks the surface. This is no longer about suspicion. This is no longer about trying to give the benefit of the doubt. What was once hidden in darkness is now under spiritual interrogation. And I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to give you this final warning. If you turn your ear away again, if you justify their intentions one more time, if you silence your own discernment out of emotional loyalty, I will not intervene the way I have in the past. Not because I will stop loving you, not because heaven is angry, but because you cannot graduate while still gripping what heaven is trying to remove. This betrayal is not waiting. It is already unfolding. The person you trust, yes, that one, has made a spiritual agreement with something you cannot see. They have allowed their emotions to become a doorway, and that doorway has been accessed by fear, jealousy, insecurity, and the residue of past wounds that were never healed. They are being influenced, not just by thoughts, but by forces. This is why their energy has changed. This is why they pull back when you start talking about your destiny. This is why they smile, but it feels mechanical. This is why their eyes don't carry the same light when they look at you. They are struggling internally. They are torn between loyalty and envy. They want to support you, but their spirit cannot stomach your success. They want to clap for you, but every time you rise, something in them breaks. And now, your inner fracture is turning into outer action. You will see strange behaviors within 72 hours. A shift in tone. A delay in response. A strange reaction to your blessing. Something will happen that triggers your confirmation. This is not fear-mongering. This is for warning. Because heaven doesn't want you to walk into the blow unaware. You must know, this is not accidental. This is spiritual orchestration. God is drawing the curtain back. You will feel emotional pressure, waves of sadness that come out of nowhere. You will find yourself on the verge of tears, even in moments that should bring joy. That grief you're feeling, that weight in your chest, the sudden tiredness around them. It's not random. It's your soul grieving what your spirit already knows. You're about to lose what no longer serves your elevation. This is the grieving before the release, the sorrow before the shift. And if you ignore this divine alarm again, if you go silent out of fear instead of strategy, then know this: heaven may permit the betrayal to run its course, not to destroy you, but to teach you. If you don't exit it by choice, you will be forced to endure it by consequence. And while I will remain by your side, I will not be able to protect you from the outcomes of deliberate disobedience. You are standing at the edge of a spiritual threshold. The decision you make now determines the measure of protection heaven can apply. The angels are waiting on your awareness, not your panic, not your retaliation, but your clarity. Do not confront them. Do not send the message. Do not press for answers. That is not your weapon in this war. Your weapon is awareness. Your shield is discernment. Your strategy is stillness. If you attempt to fight this in the natural, you will provoke premature warfare. But if you stay hidden, if you stay spiritually anchored, the betrayer will expose themselves. And when they do, you won't have to say a word. Your silence will speak volumes. Your peace will be louder than your proof. Let heaven handle what your heart wants to fix. The emotional intensity will rise. You may feel misunderstood, isolated, or deeply wounded. But do not be shaken. Your tears are not weakness. They are prophetic release. Every drop that falls from your eyes is being collected in heaven's vault. Every sigh is recorded. Every ache is noted. You are not unseen in this storm. You are surrounded. You are monitored. You are defended by fire. But I must say this one more time for the soul that still hesitates. I will not step in again the same way if you choose to blind yourself to what heaven has exposed. There is mercy, yes, but there is also movement. And heaven cannot carry you to the next level while you're clinging to what is sinking. To watch closely. The countdown has begun. The betrayer will move. You will see the signs. You will feel the shift. And when you do, remember this moment. Remember this message. And above all, do not try to save what God is severing. This is your season to see clearly, to stand firmly, and to surrender wisely. Type "I will not miss this" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing Code 2020 has been released to shield your next 72 hours. Now, you must come into the sanctuary of silence. Now, you must choose the sacred weapon that many overlook, stillness. I, Archangel Michael, charge you in this moment. Do not react. Do not retaliate. Do not confront. Your power in this hour is not in the sound of your voice, but in the depth of your discernment. You are standing in the corridor between revelation and reaction, and if you move too quickly, you will forfeit divine advantage. Heaven is aligning your steps in stealth. You are not being called to war in the flesh. You are being instructed to watch in the spirit. Watch without accusation. Listen without assumption. Live without making your motives known. Your silence is not weakness. It is your shield. It is the covering through which angels move freely, without interference from your emotions. Every time you speak out of impulse, every time you act out of pain, you block the angelic strategy that is already unfolding behind the scenes. This battle will not be won with words, it will be won with wisdom. Right now, I tell you, start writing. Start documenting. Your dreams are not just random flickers of thought. They are coded messages, encrypted guidance, being whispered from heaven while your defenses are down. Your reactions, your discomforts, your sudden emotional shifts, reckon them. There is a pattern emerging, and if you will take time to write what you feel, what you sense, and what you dream, the spirit of truth will begin connecting the dots. This is how discernment is sharpened. This is how confusion gives way to clarity. Stillness is not idleness. Stillness is warfare wrapped in reverence. And those who honor stillness in seasons of testing walk under a different kind of covering. Heaven's hand moves faster for the still than it does for the loud. Because the still do not need to be heard. They need to be held. And right now, you are being held by heaven, wrapped in divine silence, so your enemies can be revealed without your involvement. You felt the pressure to speak. You felt the temptation to send the message, to ask the question, to demand the truth. But that is not your instruction. That is not your divine protocol. Right now, your protection is tied to your ability to observe in obedience. If you speak now, you speak too soon. If you react now, you interrupt a divine investigation. Let God finish what He's begun. The exposure will come, but it must be birthed in truth, not pulled out by your pain. Affirm yourself in the secret place. Speak the words of power. Declare divine protection. Speak clarity over your mind and peace over your heart. Say it aloud if you must, or whisper it beneath your breath when your soul begins to shake. I am hidden in the shadow of the Almighty. I am surrounded by fire on every side. I am led by peace and not pressure. I am shielded from deception. I see with heaven's eyes. I hear with heaven's ears. I move in heaven's rhythm. These are not empty words. These are spiritual codes. Every declaration sends signals into the unseen realm. Every word you speak in alignment with truth builds a fortress around your discernment. The enemy cannot stay where light is being spoken. And the more you affirm heaven's presence, the more confusion and deception are expelled from your atmosphere. The person who is shifting against you cannot read your silence. That's why they are growing uncomfortable. They were counting on your reaction. They were relying on your vulnerability. But now, as you grow still, as you withhold your patterns, as you keep your spirit close and your mouth shut, they are being exposed. Their intentions will stumble under the weight of their own confusion. And heaven will do what you could not. Heaven will reveal. There will come a moment soon, very soon, when the full picture will be made clear. But between now and then, silence is your assignment. The angels need your cooperation. We are moving through conversations, guiding circumstances, unraveling hidden agendas, but your stillness is the signal that we have authority to finish the work. You do not need to fear. You do not need to panic. The betrayer is not bigger than your destiny. The betrayal is not stronger than your calling. This is not about them. This is about you, about your refinement, about your discernment, about your ability to walk in wisdom when everything around you demands emotional response. This is your training, and it is holy. So sit in the quiet. Light a candle if you must. Lay worship. Walk slowly. Breathe deeply. Journal consistently. Speak softly. Move wisely. Because heaven is leaning close now. Every step you take in silence is a signal that you trust what's unfolding, that you are aligned with the divine process, that you are not afraid of what's hidden because you know who is doing the revealing. You are not powerless. You are not vulnerable. You are not lost. You are held. You are hidden. You are heavily guarded. Type "I will stay silent" in the comments if this is your confirmation. Blessing code 8888 is now activated over your stillness. You've been silent. You've been still. You've obeyed the divine strategy. Now, something begins to stir within you. Not fear, not confusion, but power. It is rising from the ashes of pain. It is moving through the cracks betrayal tried to break. The very thing that was sent to destroy your trust has begun to awaken your discernment. What was meant to crush you is crafting you. And I, Archangel Michael, now declare, this is the shift. This is the moment your weakness turns into wisdom and your pain becomes prophecy. You are not just surviving betrayal, you are rising because of it. Heaven did not allow this season to crush your spirit. It allowed this because your elevation required a detachment from what your emotions would never release on their own. The betrayal was permitted not as punishment, but as permission. Permission for you to step into the version of yourself that no longer bends under manipulation. The version of yourself that no longer tolerates dishonor in the name of history. The version of yourself that no longer carries broken people on your back out of obligation. That you, the empowered you, has been buried under emotional debt for too long. And now, I fire, that version of you is being resurrected. You must understand this betrayal for what it is. It is not an attack on your worth. It is a reflection of your evolution. They are not turning against you because you failed them. They are turning against you because they can no longer figure you out. Your boundaries now intimidate them. Your silence unnerves them. Your peace makes them restless. You've stopped explaining yourself, and now they fear your strength. You stopped needing their validation, and now they question your loyalty. But hear this clearly, you didn't betray them. They betrayed the version of you who never saw her worth. This is where the victim narrative ends. This is where power returns to your hands. You are not the broken one. You are not the naive one. You are not the one left behind. No, you are the one walking away, not with bitterness but with blessing. Not with anger, but with authority. You are the one who has been refined by fire, and now stands unshaken in the face of deceit. They saw your transformation and mistook it for distance. They saw your elevation and mistook it for pride. But what they missed is that you've been in a private war, not against them, but within yourself. You have been fighting to break free from people-pleasing, from generational guilt, from old stories that said you had to be small to be safe. And now that you've grown, now that you've expanded, they are unsettled because they can't control what they can no longer understand. Let it go. Let them go. And not just physically but spiritually. Release the emotional grip. Loosen your heart from the fantasy you had of their loyalty. Some people were only meant to escort you to the gates of purpose, but not walk through them with you. Some connections are seasonal coverings, not lifelong covenants. And the more you try to keep them, the more delayed your assignment becomes. This is empowerment. Not just the fire of rage, but the fire of revelation. The realization that you were never abandoned. You were being unburdened. That what walked away wasn't your way. That what tried to sabotage you wasn't powerful. It was revealing how powerful you've become. This is the true shift. Not just emotional release, but spiritual recalibration. Look at yourself now. Still standing. Still discerning. Still powerful. Your heart may be bruised, but your spirit has never been clearer. You have been touched by betrayal, yes, but you have also been anointed by awareness. Your eyes are open. Your spirit is awake. Your posture has changed. You no longer walk as the dependent, but as the delivered. You no longer wait for their validation. You walk in divine affirmation. They saw smoke, but heaven sees refinement. They saw distance, but heaven sees alignment. They judged what they didn't understand, but you are not here to be understood. You are here to be assigned. And the betrayal that tried to shrink you has now exposed just how unstoppable you really are. You don't need closure. You don't need explanation. You don't even need the apology. What you need, what you've always needed, is already stirring inside you, permission to move on without guilt. Archangel Michael declares this over you now. The one you trusted most has revealed their hand. But the one who called you, anointed you, protected you, that one has never shifted. Heaven has not turned its face from you. God has not left your side. The angels have not grown weary of guarding you. You are not alone. You are not empty. You are empowered. You are not who you were before this betrayal. You are bolder, wiser, severer, stronger. And while they thought they were breaking you, they were actually birthing you. What they meant for harm has become heaven's construction site. And now you are ready to walk into the part of your destiny where loyalty is earned, not assumed. Where peace is guarded, not shared. Where discernment is honored, not doubted. Walk forward, without regret, without fear, without apology. Type "I am walking in power" in the comments if this is your word. Blessing code 911 is now surrounding your purpose with divine clarity. Now comes the moment of divine unveiling, the prophetic revelation that brings purpose to every tear, clarity to every ache, and holy fire to the betrayal that tried to break your soul. Listen closely, for I do not speak as one who speculates. I speak as one who knows. I am Michael, Archangel of the Most High, and I speak only what has been written in the scrolls of destiny. And this I declare to you now. This betrayal is not the breaking, it is the unlocking. Yes, this was the final lock on a gate heaven has been waiting to open. Not before the betrayal, not before the silence, not before the stillness. No, only after the shift. Because the spiritual maturity it has taken to endure this moment was necessary to carry what comes next. The betrayal was the divine key. The wound was the password. The revelation was the gate. And now, chosen one, heaven is calling you forward. You have passed the test. You have watched in silence. You have discerned with restraint. You have released what no longer serves the mantle you carry. And now, heaven is moving. Now, the realm of spirit is releasing a promotion that does not look like elevation in man's eyes, but will ignite a ripple of alignment across everything connected to your name. Because this is mantle exchange. You are stepping out of the clothes of a survivor. You are laying down the garments of a pleaser. You are shedding the layers of over-explaining, over-giving, over-trusting. The mantle that once kept you tied to people who only loved your weakness is being stripped. And in its place, a new mantle is descending. An invisible cloak that marks you with spiritual authority, divine clarity, and supernatural recognition. Heaven knows your name. The courts of glory have heard your intercession. The angels have written your tears into the archives. And now, your voice is being elevated in the spirit. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you stayed faithful in silence. Not because you exposed the betrayer, but because you trusted the one who defends in secret. This is what real anointing looks like. Not platform, not praise, but obedience, alignment, endurance. Your name is being carried in heaven right now. Yes, your name. The one they tried to slander. The one they tried to erase. The one they gossiped about in whispers behind closed doors. That name, your name, has been etched into divine scrolls for this moment. And while they were busy trying to write you out, God was rewriting your story with His own hand. The betrayal wasn't the period. It was the comma. The breath before the breakthrough. This moment is not about them anymore. It never really was. It has always been about your assignment, your divine recognition, your unique fingerprint in the plan of heaven. And this betrayal, it simply triggered your visibility in the spirit. The pain they caused made you known in places your praise couldn't reach. There is a shift happening in the heavenly realms. A sacred spotlight is now upon you, not for applause, but for assignment. You are being called forward. There is a divine meeting unfolding in the invisible realm, and your name is being summoned. Your next orders are being released. And this time, you will not have to fight for a seat. You will be invited. You will not have to beg to be seen. You are already recognized. This is the fulfillment of the delay, the reason for the spiritual silence, the purpose behind the isolation. The betrayal didn't push you out, it pushed you in, into alignment, into readiness, into posture, into the identity heaven has been trying to hand you, but your loyalty to brokenness kept blocking it. But now you are ready. Now you are healed enough to carry the next thing without bleeding over it. Now you are strong enough to walk forward without dragging old expectations behind you. Now you are wise enough to say no when peace is at risk. And now, your name, yes, your name has entered the room where mantles are exchanged. You will not leave this season empty. You will not walk away barren. Heaven will not allow you to exit this betrayal without recompense. There is restoration coming. There is power returning. There is fire being added to your voice. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not second in line. You have been called forward. So rise in your identity. Stand in your mantle. Walk like one who has been chosen to carry something sacred. And let the tears that once clouded your vision now baptize your eyes for clarity. You are walking in prophetic alignment now. What once confused you has become your confirmation. What once shook you has become your spiritual armor. And now the angels stand at attention. Heaven is in motion. And I, Archangel Michael, am ready to war for what is next, because you finally let go of what was never yours. If this message is piercing your spirit and helping you step into divine truth, consider giving a super chat or super thanks today. Your support of $20 helps us continue creating powerful, prophetic messages like this one. We are grateful for every seed you sow. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. You'll receive regular prophetic guidance, exclusive content, and spiritual tools to keep you aligned with your divine path. Type "I am called forward" in the comments if this is your confirmation. Blessing code 3030 is now surrounding your voice, your name, and your next assignment. Now comes the hour to move spirit to feet, revelation to action, wisdom to manifestation. You've seen the signs. You've felt the rupture. You've discerned the betrayal. Now, heaven waits to see if you will activate what has been ignited within you. For revelation without action is stagnation. And if you stop here, if you sit on the edge of insight without stepping into instruction, you risk forfeiting the very destiny that was unlocked by the betrayal. Archangel Michael speaks this to your spirit now with divine clarity. You must release what no longer serves you. You must declare it out loud, not just as an empty chant, but as a decree of final separation. Speak it boldly. I release what no longer serves me. For the spiritual realm responds to your words when they are aligned with truth. Your tongue holds authority. And right now, your freedom is one declaration away from acceleration. This is not just about cutting off people. This is not just about stepping away from the betrayer. This is about releasing the version of you that tolerated things your destiny can no longer carry. That version of you, the one who doubted their intuition, the one who bent under the pressure of keeping peace at the expense of purpose, the one who smiled through secret tears to keep others comfortable. That version is no longer authorized to lead your next season. To let go. Let go of needing closure. Let go of waiting for their remorse. Let go of trying to understand why someone loved you in one season and turned in the next. Let go of needing all the details before you decide to move. Because heaven is not waiting on your understanding, heaven is waiting on your obedience. Now, I tell you to take one symbolic action. Not for Joe. Not for them. Love for you. Tear the page. Burn the note. Delete the message. Block the access. Clean the altar of your soul. For what you do in the natural shifts what happens in the spirit. Destiny does not fall upon the passive. It moves through the intentional. If you want to see angelic acceleration, you must match heaven's movement with your own. Heaven moves when you move in truth. There is a window, small but sacred, that has opened over your life between now and the end of this threshold. Within it, your decisions will echo into the next chapter of your calling. This is why obedience matters now more than ever. This is why discernment must turn into direction. You cannot pray for purpose and then drag dead weight into your future. That is not humility. That is sabotage. And heaven loves you too much to let you live beneath your assignment. So what now? Now you rise, not in noise, but in knowing. You begin walking differently. You speak from a deeper place. You listen with clearer ears. You no longer ask for permission to obey your discernment. You do not explain what God has shown you in secret. You simply move. Quietly. Boldly. Righteously. This is not rebellion. It is resurrection. This is not abandonment. It is advancement. Because the moment you align your steps with what the Spirit is revealing, the heavens begin to synchronize divine events. Angels are dispatched. Strategies are released. Delays are canceled. Divine favor attaches itself to you like a seal. But it all begins with one choice: to move in truth. To no longer pretend. To no longer ignore. To no longer give grace where God has withdrawn it. Truth is your pathway now. Truth is your compass. Truth is the door, and you are holding the key. A betrayal didn't destroy your destiny. It delivered it. And now, this activation is not optional. It is essential. You've seen what happens when you delay your discernment. You've seen what it costs to ignore your inner knowing. But that time has passed. You are no longer bound by old cycles. You are no longer afraid of being misunderstood. You are no longer addicted to being liked. You are ready. You are chosen. You are marked. And so I say to you, move. Move with reverence. Move with boldness. Move like the heavens are backing your every step, because they are. The God of angel armies walks with you now, not just to protect you from the betrayer, but to position you before kings. Your voice is needed. Your presence is demanded. Your mantle is recognized. Do not shrink now. Do not stall now. Do not sabotage your own sending by waiting for those who were never meant to come. You've been released. You've been refined. Now be resurrected into divine movement. Type "I move in truth" in the comments if this is your moment. Blessing code 7171 is now activated over your decisions, your direction, and your destiny. There is more happening around you than you can see. More movement in the heavens than your eyes could ever perceive. More negotiation in the spirit realm than your ears could ever detect. While you've been still, while you've been quiet, while your hands remained clean and your heart chose restraint, there has been a silent exchange unfolding beyond the veil. And I, Archangel Michael, have been in the midst of it. Heaven is not quiet because it is idle. Heaven is quiet because it is working, because it is negotiating, because it is mirroring, weighing, uncovering, redeeming. There hath been a shift in the atmosphere, subtle, almost undetectable, but powerful. And it is happening because you chose obedience over revenge, clarity over chaos, silence over spectacle. Your silence has spoken louder than any confrontation could. The ascent ripples through the heavens. It has unlocked files on your behalf. It has moved angelic forces into strategic positions. It has summoned justice. Yes, your silence has summoned justice. You thought the stillness meant nothing was happening, but oh, chosen one, everything was happening. While your mouth was closed, the angels were speaking. While your soul was grieving, the heavens were investigating. While your hands withheld the retaliation, the courts of heaven were reviewing every injustice, every lie, every motive hidden behind friendly eyes. This betrayal wasn't invisible to the spirit realm. It was an announcement. You didn't see the meeting, but I did. I stood before the throne as your name was mentioned. Your name, spoken not with pity, but with honor. Because you passed the test. Because you didn't bow to bitterness. Because you didn't swing the sword of revenge. And in that silent surrender, a spiritual exchange took place. You traded pain for power. You exchanged heartbreak for higher vision. You surrendered disappointment and received divine positioning. There is now a supernatural record in the heavenly realms of your restraint. Your tears, your silence, your decision not to fight back, these have been recorded not as weakness, but as worship. They were your offering. And heaven does not ignore offerings like that. I tell you now, every tear you cried in secret became a petition. Every sigh became a request. Every unanswered question became an invitation for divine investigation. And so, while you waited, while you wept, heaven moved. Not with fanfare, not with noise, but with holy precision. Doors have already begun to close behind the betrayer. Cycles are being broken. Your access is being revoked, not by you, but by the one who sees beyond all performance. This is not vengeance. This is divine adjustment. The spirit realm is making the necessary corrections to protect what you are about to carry. You see, you are not just healing, you are being positioned. There is a reshaping of spiritual infrastructure around your life. Angels have been reassigned. Demonic permissions have been revoked. The hedge around your destiny has been reinforced. And all of this happened while you chose the quiet path. All of this happened in your yes to stillness. But do not mistake this quiet season for inactivity. This is not the calm before a storm. This is the hush before divine reward. You will begin to feel it soon, a lightness in your spirit, a shift in your atmosphere, a lifting of heaviness. You will notice conversations begin to change. Certain people will grow more distant. Some doors will close without your effort. Do not chase what falls away. That is the result of heaven's negotiations on your behalf. That is the byproduct of the silent exchange. And hear me clearly now, your inheritance has been preserved. What they tried to steal, what they tried to manipulate, what they hoped would die inside of you, it has been restored. The oil on your life has not been contaminated. The favor on your name has not been revoked. The assignment on your life has not been altered. If anything, it's been strengthened. You are not just covered, you are being commissioned. You didn't need to explain yourself. Heaven already knew the truth. You didn't need to clear your name. Heaven already stamped it. You didn't need to expose them. Heaven already did. And that unease you feel in your belly right now, that swirling pressure in your spirit, that is not fear, that is shift. That is the wind of divine reversal beginning to stir. That is the spirit realm rebalancing everything that was out of alignment. That is heaven repositioning you, not just as a survivor of betrayal, but as a steward of restoration. I, Michael, say this to your soul. Do not open your mouth unless the Lord tells you to. Do not break your silence unless heaven instructs you to. Let the silent exchange finish. Let the spiritual balance settle. The verdict is being written, and the reward is on its way. Stay in alignment. Stay in posture. Stay in peace. Type "I am sealed in silence" in the comments if you feel this divine exchange in your spirit. Blessing code 5151 is surrounding your name in heaven's courts. Now heaven speaks, and heaven does not whisper. Heaven declares. Spiritual justice is here. Divine reversal is already unfolding. What you endured in silence will be repaid in power. What was done in darkness is now standing trial before the light. And I, Archangel Michael, bearing the authority of the throne of the Most High, Now proclaim, heaven never overlooks betrayal. Heaven never misses injustice. Heaven never forgets the cry of the righteous. You were not foolish to trust. You were not weak to love. You were not naive to believe. You were operating from purity, while they were operating from pretense. And for a while, it looked like they were winning. It looked like they got away with it. They smiled. They schemed. They sat in rooms where your name was mishandled, where your loyalty was twisted, where your silence was mistaken for ignorance. But heaven kept the record, and now the time has come for the reversal to begin. What was whispered in secret is about to be shouted in the open. Those who plotted while you prayed are about to watch God lift you while He humbles them. And not out of vengeance, not because heaven seeks to embarrass, but because heaven will always vindicate those who remained in alignment. This is the spiritual law of reversal. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Those who thought your name would fade are about to hear it honored. Those who believed they buried you are about to witness your resurrection. They didn't just underestimate your strength, they underestimated your covering. They didn't just violate your trust, they violated a divine agreement. You were marked for purpose, shielded by covenant, wrapped in prophecy. You are not just anyone. You were chosen. And when you are chosen, betrayal does not cancel your anointing. It activates it. That betrayal placed you in position for reversal no man can stop. This is not karma. This is not coincidence. This is divine recompense. The very places where you were denied are about to become doors that swing wide open. The very ones who doubted you are about to watch you step into rooms they'd never imagined you'd enter. The very assignments they tried to delay are now coming with acceleration, force, and favor. This is the hour of sevenfold restoration. Not double, not triple, sevenfold. That's what heaven promises to those who suffer silently in obedience. Every tear you cried in secret is about to return to you as strength. Every sleepless night is about to return as vision. Every slandered word is about to return as vindication. You didn't lose, you were being positioned. Do not seek revenge. Do not revisit what God is reversing. Do not interfere with justice by demanding explanation. This is heaven's case now, and the judge of all judges has ruled in your favor. I see the scales tipping. I see the weight of accusation being thrown off. I see the timelines accelerating. I see your name being rewritten in places you never even knew existed. And I say this clearly, prophetically, and without hesitation. What they tried to kill, God is raising again. The dream they laughed at is being resurrected. The plan they mocked is now being funded. The relationship they tried to sabotage is being restored. The favor they thought they could block is now multiplying. Heaven does not just restore. It reveals, it rewards, it reverses. Let them watch. Let them see. Not to shame them, but to show them that you were never alone. That God was with you. That angels walked beside you. That Archangel Michael fought for you in realms they never understood. You were covered. You were guided. You were sealed. And now the reversal will not stop. Every word spoken against you in secret will be reversed in public honor. Every delay placed on your life is now being redeemed with speed. And every lie spoken to destroy you is about to be the very platform God uses to elevate your testimony. You did not die in that betrayal. You were not buried in that silence. You were planted. And now you are rising, growing, multiplying. This is divine justice. This is spiritual law. What was done against you is returning to the sender, but not as punishment, as exposure. They will see. They will know. They will watch as the one they underestimated walks in a level of glory they never saw coming. You were never the victim. You were always the vessel. If this word has confirmed your spirit and awakened your boldness, consider supporting with a super thanks of $10. Your support allows us to keep releasing prophetic guidance, clarity, and strength for others walking through betrayal into blessing. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And make sure to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a moment of divine instruction, heavenly insight, and spirit-led guidance tailor-made for your breakthrough. Type "I receive divine justice" in the comments if this word belongs to you. Blessing code 7777 is now unlocking reversal, restoration, and reward. Before June 24th ends, trust must be discerned. The clock has not only been ticking in the natural, it has been counting down in the spirit. And now, you stand at the edge of a divine completion. Everything that has been revealed, every tear you've cried, every whisper of intuition, every sleepless night, it has led to this moment of sacred resolve. And I, Archangel Michael, declare this blessing over you now. You are sealed, shielded, and spiritually seen. No longer will confusion cloud your discernment. No longer will misplaced loyalty delay your assignment. No longer will emotional attachment override divine instruction. You have been tested, and you did not fold. You were struck, but you did not break. You were betrayed, but you did not bow to bitterness. And because of that, because you chose to stay in alignment when your flesh screamed for retaliation, the courts of heaven have rendered their verdict. You are approved. You are cleared. You are commissioned. Let this be your closing affirmation as the gates of June 24th begin to seal. I am not what happened to me. I am what heaven wrote about me. I am not defined by betrayal. I am refined by purpose. I am not surrounded by enemies. I am encircled by angels. I am not afraid of the future. I am walking with fire. I am not broken. I am becoming. Peace is now returning to your soul. Clarity is now sitting upon your mind. Favor is now magnetized to your footsteps. Even if no one else sees what heaven just did for you, you will feel it. You will wake up lighter. You will speak with more power. You will walk with a different rhythm. Because the spiritual transaction hath been completed. The shift has landed. The battle is over, and the blessing is beginning. So I speak one final command into your atmosphere, one final instruction from heaven's heart. Rise now. Rise in authority. Rise in discernment. Rise in identity. Rise into the full measure of who you were created to be. Do not look back. Do not question again. Do not apologize for outgrowing betrayal. You are not who you were when this started, and you will never be her again. I, Michael, will continue to offer you. But now you must walk in what's been given. What comes next will not be easy, but it will be right. And if you listen, if you stay anchored, if you remain still in spirit but bold in faith, there will be nothing the enemy can do to stop what's already been written. Type "I am sealed" for my next in the comments if you receive this final word. Blessing code 9999 is activated and will follow you beyond June 24th.